Schlossberg, Managing Director at BK Asset Management.
BK Asset Management's Kathy Lean.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing? Say hello if you are in the room. Let me know that you are listening. The audio is going well. The visual is going well. Let me know that, everything works, my friends. Hello and say good morning. It is a brand new trading week and we've already had quite a bit of volatility. Boris joins us in a little bit. Usually, if you're brand new, the way this works is I kind of set you up for the trading week. Boris joins in and he live trades with you for the New York session, which is very exciting, obviously, and usually very fruitful as well. But of course, this is all informational purposes only. Tread with your own caution. We've got a new disclaimer up that Boris will add in just a few minutes. But welcome everyone. Welcome Peter, Christopher, Carolina, Manupanka. Anyone who's new in here? Anyone who's new joining us? We're actually giving away a Tradeify account, and this is your last chance to enter. I believe it's a pretty big one. It's a 100K select Tradeify account. So let me just double check this and show you where to go. Give me 1 second, my friends. So if you want to participate in our 100K Tradeify select giveaway, let me see where it is. I will point you to this. Yes. Okay. So let me share with you my screen. I don't know why Boris is sharing his screen and moving around, but I'm going to move that away. So let me share with you.
Disclaimer. I put a disclaimer up there. That's all.
Oh, but I just see you clicking around your own thing. Yeah. So is the disclaimer fully up? Great. So this is the disclaimer that we had earlier. So make sure you take a look at that. We're going to start putting this in the beginning, before we talk rather than, and I don't know why. Is this on why can't it just be a full screen without the container around it? What is this? This is PowerPoint. Anyway, I don't need to see all this for us. Okay, so let's talk about the Tradeify giveaway. So yes, we're giving away a 100K Tradeify Select account. It ends today. What you need to do is you need to follow on Instagram at PropTraderEdge. Like, report, and tag 2 friends. So it's pretty easy. Instagram, Prop Trader Edge, and make sure that you follow us, like, and I'm not logged into this account, but make sure you follow us and then like and comment under here, and we will be announcing the winner tomorrow. So this is, the biggest Tradeify account that we've given. Tradeify has their really incredible Grand Cup that is happening right now, which is a lot of fun. The one thing I love about Tradeify is that they really make trading fun. So make sure, in celebration of the Tradeify Grand Cup, make sure you participate in, follow all of these instructions. I'll drop this post into the chat, and you guys can do that because, it's a really big opportunity to win a big account. Aside from that, before I get into it, these prop firms are doing incredible deals. This is the biggest Lucid account offer I have ever seen. 50% off all accounts, valid through July 2nd. Use the code EDGE. That means that you can get a 50K flex account for $70. I have not seen a deal this big. Obviously, they're doing this because, well, I don't know, but maybe they're doing this because Tradeify is doing their Grand Cup and they want some flow from there. But whatever it is, take advantage of it. There's no expiration date. There's no activation fee. So
it's a really good deal.
Save it.
I was going to say that's a Lucid deal is like one of the best things I've seen in a long time. Really recommend you guys take a look at it. It's literally all in. If you pass that challenge, that's all it costs you to basically get 50,000 funded. So really worth it.
Yeah, $70. I mean, that you can sound more excited for us. $70.
I'm more excited. I've been up since 3 this morning, so I'm a little tired. But it trust me, it is a good deal.
Doesn't get better than $70. And And Apex is still running their deal. I mean, of course, Apex is even cheaper than this, which is great for anyone who's new and still trying to get funded. But they do have the activation fee. So the point is, if you are still struggling to get funded, still testing your ideas, then Apex, is kind of the way to go, $29.90. But when you add in the $99 activation fee, if you pass, it does become more expensive. But if you're still laboratorying, still trying out, this is perfect for beginners, and their sale ends in a day. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you because these are really great offers that you don't want to miss. Now, let's talk about trading. Let's talk about the markets, okay? What's really fascinating is that U.S. Stock futures were down earlier. Now they're up. I mean, this is a huge turnaround. If we look at ES, they were down. They were down all the way down here. They popped up. I know that YM, because I just look at the Dow futures in terms of the absolute numbers. It was down like 200 points this morning, over that, maybe 300 points. Now it's up 40, which is an incredible turnaround in stock futures. So first off, what's going on? Well, there are two things that traders are focusing on this week, or at least you should be focusing on. Number one is Iran, and number two is U.S. yields. That's why I had initially this the treasury yield up, which we'll talk about in a minute. But those are the two main things. So what catalyzed this recovery in stocks? I mean, the answer is in what I just told you, which is the headlines. They were all over the place this morning. Before the early market opened, the headlines were not so great. Iran warned, we're looking over here in investing.com, Iran warned a full strength response to any attack. Pakistan said it deployed 8,000 troops, air defense, all that stuff. None of it's good. Then, as the morning kind of progressed, we got some positive headlines. U.S. has accepted the lifting of Iran sanctions in its new text. A source close to negotiations says, so this is not confirmed by the U.S., but Iran's kind of dripping this out, which, we really don't see too much positive Iran headlines, meaning that they are really conservative in I guess any of the positive language. And so the fact that this is coming out suggests that maybe there could be, or maybe there is some sort of movement towards a deal or agreement in place for Iran. And but it's really unclear. I mean, the markets are rallying because of that. But then you have this headline over here on Financial Juice. Both the Israeli government and the IDF are hinting through statement actions they're preparing for a renewal of American strikes in Iran. Tehran has just submitted its latest diplomatic proposal, a commitment to highly questionable value to refrain from producing nuclear weapons. However you make it, nothing concrete right now. So I am, of course, skeptical of the rally that we're seeing in stock futures, because this rally in stock futures is driven by nothing more than these type of headlines. But the one tangible thing is that yes, U.S. yields are down a little bit, but my friends, look at this. U.S. 30-year Treasury yield is at its highest level. It's pulled back a little bit, but if we look at the monthly chart, it's pretty much at its highest level since 2020. What was this high? This high is 5.153. This high is 5.159. So basically, it's pretty much hit its highest level since 2023. This is alarming. And the biggest problem is that mortgage rates have exceeded 7%. And this is the level, if any of you remember, this is the level where things were at when President Trump paused the 90-day tariffs. So he's watching these things closely. He's watching, regardless of whether he admits it, he's watching, these yields closely. He's watching, back in November 2023, we had, during this period, we had, pretty high yields. And, the market, gets quite alarmed, back here in January 2025, if we look at the Dow, this basically marked the top in the Dow. I mean, that's basically what I'm trying to say, is that, January 2025, the last time we were at, I mean, of course it's a near term top, right? The last time yields were this high. This is the move that we saw. This is the move that we saw in the Dow, okay? Which, was basically like, let's say 45,000, basically 1,000-point drop lower in the Dow. So we have not, seen that at all. Yet, if we overlay our, 10-year yields on here, and it's not a perfect match, but if we overlay our 10-year yield on here, there are certainly red, flags. There's certainly huge red flags suggesting that we could pull back. And we're not just seeing a surge in US yields, but we're seeing surge in yields abroad. Like in Japan, there were reports that Japanese yields are the highest since 1997. And to show you how much this has changed and how dramatic it is, I want to show you Fed Fund Futures. So Fed Fund Futures basically measures how much the market is pricing in terms of interest rate changes. Now, many of you may have looked at this with me before. Some of you have no idea what this means, but basically tells you what is the market pricing in. So right now, the current interest rate is 3.5 to 3.75%. How many of you think that there's going to be an interest rate? If you think there's going to be an interest rate cut this year, type 1. If you think that there's going to be no change, give me 0. And if you think there's going to be a hike, give me the number 2. So we're going to do cut is equal to 1. No changes this year is equal to 0. And then hike is equal to 2. Okay, so chat, I want you to chime in. Which one do you think is going to happen this year? Karen saying 0, 0, 0. I'm getting a lot of zeros here. Let's see what else we've got. Because, it is quite interesting. Let's take a look. All right, let's see, where we're at. A lot of zeros, some ones. A lot of zeros and some ones. Now, many of you may not have seen the Fed Fund Futures. So right now we're at 3.5 to 3.75%. The market's pricing in a 99% chance there'll be no change in interest rates in June. Okay, so no one expects any cuts in June. July, we're at 3.5, 3/4%. Market's pricing in the 92.8% chance that rates will remain unchanged in July. And yet odds for a hike are slightly higher than odds for a cut. Okay. Let's look at September. September, look at this, my friends. 79% chance of no change. 20% chance of a hike. 0% chance of a cut. October, nothing over here is the point I want to make. Nothing over here, all over here. And the market is looking that by the end of December, none of you have put number 2 up. So many of you have been aware of this, I think. That the market is pricing in a 50% chance of no change and pretty much a 50% chance of what, my friends? I'm going to type it into chat. Chat, look at this. 50% chance of a hike. I mean, kind of surprising, right? The market's not pricing in this in at all. The bond market, I mean, poor and hungry is now coming in with 2, but the market is no longer pricing in 1 or 2 interest rate cuts this year. It's pricing in a possibility of a hike. Now, I'm not saying that under Warsh, we're going to get that. Brand new Fed chairman, brought in because he's supposed to be a little bit more dovish than and more willing to cut interest rates than Powell. But the market is pricing in a hike, which you've got to be aware of, because if we have bond and interest rate futures investors and traders thinking that we could get a hike this year, which I don't think I'm not saying that's going to happen, but the charts numbers are shifting in this way. Stocks should be trading not at these levels. This is overvaluation for stocks. So be careful. Now, of course, as I said earlier, this is the highest level that pretty much we're at the levels when President Trump had a 90-day pause in the tariffs. So he could certainly let stocks fall. And I think he should let stocks fall a bit and then come in with something that kind of appeases the markets. And what I think could happen is that, there's more, hard pressure on Iran to try to get them to agree to something. And then, coming in maybe when stocks are down here, and saying a deal has been reached. And that could, give us the 1-2 liquidation opportunity come in on lower levels for a pop, that, would kind of shake out some of the longs in the market. But if we look at from a yield perspective, and how much things have come, the reason why the Fed fund futures have shifted so much is because the market doesn't think the Fed, you can't cut interest rates when you've got, your 10-year yields closing in on 5%, when you've got your, you could, but it's, could cause more inflationary pressures. And oil, the problem with oil is that, we're still around $100. It's, market's still watching the headlines, so still being careful with everything. But the bottom line that I want to say is that, the yields are going to hurt stocks. And I think it's just a matter of time. This week, we've got NVIDIA earnings. That's obviously very important. We also have the Fed minutes. The Fed minutes are probably going to be far less market moving. And the reason why they're going to be far less market moving is because it is a situation where, the market, that was the last one for Powell. The market doesn't really think that anything he says is really indicative of what how Warsh feels. And so they're going to take it a grain of salt. I don't think that the FOMC minutes this week is really going to be that market moving. Instead, we have data from a lot of different countries. We have Eurozone PMIs. We've got inflation reports from a bunch of countries that we'll talk about in just a minute. We have Australian labor market data. We have UK retail sales. We have a lot going on in the rest of the world. The US specifically is not going to be about data. It's going to be all about Iran headlines and yields, and how much damage the yields will be on the economy. So, that is basically what, we are looking at. So, definitely pay attention to that, because, these are the two main drivers of market flows. Now, we'll go to the calendar, and then we'll come back to the charts and look at some of the technicals. So taking a look at the calendar, New Zealand data hasn't been that bad. PMIs improved. Kiwi is leading the gains, but it's still below 50, which is not ideal. Chinese data is weaker. There was actually some really good Chinese headlines this morning. I actually posted it on X. I'm a huge fan of a Kobesi letter, and Kobesi letter posted, I think it was this, all the announcements that the White House made following President Trump's visit with President Xi. And you can read this yourself, Kobesi letter, lots of tangible, positive announcements from China. Now, of course, all of this was from China, showing President Trump's win, but I still think that it is something that shows progress. Now, how the U.S. deals with Taiwan is really the key, but it seems like the visit definitely turned out positive. And now she says that, when is it? She plans to visit the U.S. What's the month? This fall. So we'll see how things go. But, she plans to visit the U.S. this fall. So things are definitely going well. But data, a little weaker. Today, we have no U.S. data. Tonight, we have Japanese GDP. It's a pretty big number. Japanese GDP is expected to be good because retail sales has been good. The weak yen is very, very good for Japan in terms of exports. So that is going to help the GDP numbers. Australia's got some consumer sentiment numbers. RBA minutes, the last RBA hike is expected to be their last for some time. So pay attention to that, because these minutes may not be as hawkish as the market hopes, which could lead to a correction in Aussie. So my FX traders, we love to trade commodity currencies. And so this could give us a good opportunity, not necessarily tonight because we want to wait for the RBA minutes, but definitely as the week progresses. Tomorrow, we've got UK employment numbers, and, that can end up being weaker because we have marginal improvement in the PMIs. We also have CAD inflation data. We had a sharp rise in IV prices, so inflation probably would be a bit hotter. Nothing from the US still. So on Wednesday, we have UK inflation data. And so, the bottom line is that with UK inflation data, you can see the market's looking for slightly softer numbers. So it could be a little bit of a shift where we start to see some softer data from the UK. We'll have to see what that looks like. Then on Wednesday, of course, is the key event for the US, which is the FOMC minutes. As I said to you, I don't think that's going to be that market moving. I don't think it's a red card event, but I don't think it's really going to be that impactful because it's Powell's last meeting. Market's going to take it with a grain of salt. Lots of PMIs this week. PMI from Australia, PMI from Eurozone, from the UK. We also have Australian jobs report. So all of that, very, very big week for Aussie, quite a bit of market movingness, big week for UK because we also have UK retail sales numbers, inflation data. Thursday, we just had the regular jobless claims reports. So, we always pay attention to that. And then Friday, we have UK retail sales, German IFO, and then we end the week with Canadian retail sales numbers. So as I said earlier, the focus is much more on the headlines for the dollar flows, for the indices movements, and also on the earnings as well. And then for FX, we do have a lot of data. Now, we're talking about U.S. yields, how much U.S. yields have increased. That is certainly worrisome for me. It makes me believe that, this may be hard to last. This is YM futures. We did rebound off the lows, but we're unable to even we need to get above half, 50% of this candle, this Friday's candle, to really see any upside here. Right now, it's really, not encouraging for me at all. We're still kind of struggling below the 20 SMA, but we'll have to see that. ES, same story. We need to capture 50% of Friday's candle to really be positive. NASDAQ, we're kind of there, but it's below the 5 SMA. We need to close above the 5 SMA. We'll have to see. I'm not convinced that we're going to have, an overly positive day here. Oil is, just watching the headlines. Gold is up this morning, but still below most of the major moving averages. So I'm still more bearish gold than bullish gold. Dollar is down against all of the major currencies. It's rejecting the 50 SMA. We just had, the prime minister agreed to some supplemental budgets because in order to support the economy. So that could lead to dollar yen pullback. This is not a good looking candle. Looks to me that could pull back a little bit. Euro dollar, it does look like from a technical basis, we have a little bit of a pullback in the dollar in the front of the week. We'll have to see how the Fed minutes are. But, U.S. yields are pulling back a little bit. So that suggests that we could have a little bit of Euro rally. There is a lot of resistance for Euro, though. Dollar yen has less support to the downside. Dollar Swiss also, this is, it's still above all the major moving averages, rejecting the 50 SMA. Not a lot of clear direction, but definitely a little bit of lower highs, lower lows. Suggestion for downside risk. Dollar CAD, on the other hand, it just looks like a normal pullback. Looks like it could still, invite some buyers around the 137.50. Around this level here, 137.25, 137.50. But it's had a very nice run. So I also think dollar CAD could pull back. Pound dollar, it's a big data heavy week, so I wouldn't make too much out of it. Aussie dollar, I think the RBA minutes are not going to be as positive as the market likes. So I'm actually looking for a deeper pullback in Aussie this week. Kiwi, we have stronger PMIs, going to outperform Aussie. It's the best performing currency this week. So that's basically what I'm looking at for this week. Questions? Can you please advise when is the appropriate time to trade gold on a Monday? Boris is going to be trading gold with you in just a little bit. Market opens are a pretty good time to trade gold. Let's see if there's any type of moves there. So, definitely keep an eye out for that. Any questions? Any charts that you want to look at? So as I said earlier, lots of great offers, great deals going on with the prop firms. I'm going to do a post with the best discounts on my X feed soon. So definitely check out that. Also, make sure that you sign up. We've got a really amazing event that I'm doing with Ola Prime on Friday. I'm going to drop this Friday. It's on Saturday. It's registrations. I'm going to tell you all about it. Where is this? Just spelled this wrong. Hold on. Well, anyway, I'm going to link to it on my X feed and I'll show it to you in just a second. And we've got, it's kind of like we got a lot of incredible speakers at the event right here. You've got, Nick, Zamko, Michael, Wakar, I think this is Daniel from WC Champ. But Ola Prime registration, I'm going to drop this link here. It's an exclusive experience with traders on Saturday, 9 to 11. So it's live on YouTube. Make sure you register. Some great industry insiders. You're going to hear from, some great traders on Saturday. So make sure you register for this Ola Prime exclusive experience. And of course, Ola Prime is running some great deals as well. So make sure, I'm going to post it on my X in a little bit. But the first thing I want you to do is I want you to register for this live stream on Saturday between 9 to 11 a.m. It's going to be a great one. I'm going to be the host, and there's going to be a lot of great speakers, a huge announcement. So make sure you join all of us on May 23rd. You get to hear from the Titans of Tomorrow, Zamco, WC Champ, Trader Nick, and Michael. And of course, yours truly. And so any questions? If not, make sure you hit that link. Boris, do you want to come in and say hello?
Hi guys. Have I got stuff for you? Hold on just one second. Let me share my screen.
Wonderful. I'm going to remove my screen. Always great stuff from Boris. Get ready for some good live trading. And if you guys like what we do, please drop a review on Trustpilot.
Yes, do me a favor. The only thing I want you to do, aside from save all this money with every single prop firm that we have listed up here, is to post a Trustpilot review for us, please. It's Trustpilot/BK Traders. Just post a review. Tell them all the work that we do. We love it, and it's the only appreciation I really want out of you. So please go out there. Go give us a Trustpilot review. All of the deals I hear, the deals are actually better than what I have up here, because Lucid now is 50% off, not 40% off.
Let me drop you the image, Boris. I'll send you the image, and in the meantime, I'll answer the question from Oob. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be recorded on their because it's going to be streamed live on their YouTube channel. So since it's going to be streamed live on their YouTube channel, I think it's going to be recorded on the YouTube channel, but they may have some live surprises. And also, we're going to have the chat open. So, if you ask questions during the chat while you're live, you'll be able to engage with some of these really great influencers. So,
cool. Thanks,
make sure that I'm going to remove Boris's screen because, he's probably going to be mucking around his computer. But yes, make sure you join us for, all of that. Okay. Are we back, Boris?
No, hold on just one sec. I just want to put the new image on. Just one sec. Hang on.
All right. What are you guys trading? Trading gold now or indices? There's so many. I find gold very boring now. I find indices a lot more exciting, and FX is somewhere in the middle. Great.
Hey,
you might want to expand that image, Boris. I can not really see it.
Okay, let me give me bigger.
Yeah,
bigger.
That's good. That's much better.
That's better. Okay, you guys can really see the codes.
Yes.
So, guys, a couple of interesting things. Kay put out a really good video this weekend on.
You saw it, Boris. I'm not sure you always sees my videos.
No, well, the reason it was interesting is because she touched on a lot of ICT concepts inside that video. And so the fun thing is that I'm going to show you how I've incorporated order blocks, which is an ICT concept, with our dots that has been minting money all day long today. And it's going to make your life, it just makes the dots even that much more accurate when we're using order blocks. So it's going to be really, really interesting. It's all super simple.
How does one get the dots?
The only way to get dots, my friends, is to
join. Drop me a link?
Yes, I'm gonna put the link in here. Is to join my coaching, which is a great deal, because what you're gonna get is basically not 1 month, not 2 months, not 3 months, but 6 months, just incredibly discounted, basically for the price of like 2 regular months. But you get my coaching, you get the dots indicator, you get Kathy's coaching, and you get Kathy's zip indicator. It's an amazing, amazing deal. It's literally like just pretty much a giveaway deal, just like the Lucid 50% off. So if you're really interested in being serious, and the reason we do this way is because it takes that much time to really get good. And then you're going to be so good. Almost everybody who's in my coaching has passed their evals, and they're on their way to getting into the payout land. But you need to commit that much time, and I want you to take it seriously. So please, if you're interested, hit that link. I'll be very, very happy to get you in coaching. We coach every Thursday night, but the indicators and everything else right away, you get to have them, and you have access to all of that.
All right. I'm going to leave you with that. And Boris, I'm going to say goodbye. We're rolling into live trading, so I'm going to let you focus on what he's doing. And look at this, Boris. Nico says he made 200 points with DAX this morning. Let me drop the video for those of you guys that haven't watched. I mean, a lot of you are on YouTube, so it's like the most recent YouTube video. But let me drop the video in, and
we'll put the link in there. Really, really worth watching, guys.
Although I have to say, Nico, I'm proud of you because this was not a video about trading DAX. And so, nor have I ever traded DAX, but congratulations, clap to you for using it. And, send me an email to Kathy@bktraders.com. Nico, I would love to hear just a couple bullets, what you did for DAX that, just so that, I could look into it. I would really appreciate that from you, Kathy@bktraders.com.
There are a couple of people asking me about the OLA Prime code. The Edge code works, but you also, if you want to use, I think they still have their PropFest 35 code.
No, they don't. So just use the Edge code. They are doing a different code right now, which is Cheers. If you use Cheers, what was it for CFD, right? Cheers. Yeah. Actually, no, Edge is the one that it depends. If you're doing 25 to 50K account, use our link, and Cheers 40 is their code. So make sure you use this link that I will share with you while Boris is talking.
And of course, guys, we're, Tuesday night, Wednesday night is OLA trading nights. We're going to trade OLA on both CFD and futures side. So join me. I'll put up the links for 7 o'clock at night. We're always trading gold and now trading NASDAQ at night too, which is really, really good. So everybody should be enjoying that.
Okay, so many links this morning. Let's get to trading.
Tons of links, amazing opportunities. Really, it's a perfect week to start off getting some prop accounts into your inventory, because it's just an amazing deal at this point as far as the accounts go. And now we're gonna have I'm gonna give you the strategy to succeed today. It's an amazing way to scalp. You can see all the winners already had this morning on this account, literally just with me putzing around while Kay was talking. So I'm going to explain to you how to trade all of this, and we're going to get ready. Thank you so much, Kay. All right.
Have a great one.
Thanks, Kay. Take care. Please extend the live trading session if possible. To extend to what? I'm sorry, poor and hungry. What extend to what? We're extended. The session is going to go till about 10:30, 10:45 today. What did you want me to do? All right, my friends. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I am in Jersey, as you can tell by the fake. Oh my God, not the Pollock. Oh my God, shit! I can't believe this is my senility. Who is the famous? Oh my God, he committed suicide too. They're really, really famous. Okay. If you can figure out Rothko, never mind. You don't get to figure it out. My fake Rothko in the background. Does anybody know anything about modern art? You know that the Rothko square is like a big thing. This is a true story. The painting I have in the background is 25 years ago, maybe 20 years ago. I'm walking down East Village, and this guy has like this and another one, which is the red one, which I have in the other room, of these beautiful, beautiful, just pure abstract art paintings. And of course, I'm a sucker for Rothko, so $700 instead of $7 million. I bought them, and I've had them on my background. So I'm in Jersey when you have the fake Rothko behind me. How are you guys? How's everybody doing? How's trading going? Trading has been bomb today. Who has just been? It's my only regret is that I couldn't be glued to the screen from 8 o'clock at night last night. It was just money for us. Who's doing well? Give me a thumbs up. Who's had a good session so far? Trustpilot done. You the man, Neil. I appreciate it. What time is the appropriate time to start trading gold on Monday morning? Listen, there's no such thing as an appropriate time. It's when the thing moves. Generally, the rule of thumb, gold opens up 8 o'clock New York, basically the New York spot session, right? So, or 8:30 New York spot session. So like the best time to trade gold, and I don't, I'm focusing on NQ these days just because I'm not a person who can trade two at the same time. But I would say, and correct me if you're wrong, guys, who trades gold a lot, but I would say 8 New York to about 11 New York is the optimal time, right? Chime in. Who's trading gold a lot? Who's been trading gold today? Give me chime in your view of when you think gold is good. Nobody? Okay. All right. Good morning. How are we doing today? Is everybody doing okay? Who's up? Who's down? Give me a thumbs up if you're up. Thumbs down if you're down. Let's just take a temperature of the room. See how you guys are feeling and how you guys are vibing. We got about 5 minutes to the open, so we're not going to do anything until the open. I'm going to explain to you everything I've done. Switch to oil. Jesus, Green Otter. You're a glutton for punishment. Holy shit. Kiriak, you traded the Asian session. Asian session is also good. Now, Asian session, generally what we like to do, where it's really good, is actually 8 o'clock at night. We started trading at 7, but I would say 8 o'clock is when it really starts to rock and roll, which is Shanghai Open. But those are just generalities. Every single day is different. There's no like guaranteed rule. Tariq, I'm sorry you didn't hit it. Kiriak, you hit it didn't hit my TP for 3 ticks. I didn't cash $1,200. That sucks. But there's always a trade-off between making money and being greedy and making money, right? Who's doing well? Who did well overnight? Who likes the volatility so far? What's the dot issue on well charts? There's no dot issue on well charts, Laura. Tell me the issue, and I'll try to correct it. But well charts is working fine. Here's my well charts. Rock and rolling with that. Look at this. This account is $500 away from getting funded, right? I'm going to try and trade. I'm actually going to try and trade that with you a little bit today. Let's trade the this account. You know what? Let's trade it right now, even though we're in front of the thing, because we'll just take a tiny little clip here. The stop will be underneath here. I'll tell you why I want to trade this. Oh shit! I'm in the NQ. Fuck, flatten. God damn it! I need to MNQ. Motherfucker. That's not what I wanted. Okay, buy MNQ. Okay, sorry. I had the big size on there. I had the big size earlier, which was very good, but this is not a time I want to do big size. All right, when I'm 18 to about 12, want to be about 70% of target. Let's see if this is going to work for us. I'm kind of going to front this thing with 5 minutes to go on the assumption that they want to pop it on the open. It works. It doesn't work. We'll trade the repair side of the trade. Fuck. I can't believe I hit the big one. That was a completely unnecessary $50 lost, but it's fine. Nope. I might be getting clipped on this one. Let me see. If I get clipped, I'm going to go. Since I have small contracts, I just want to show you the technique for how I resolve some of these trades. I may go the other way. And the great thing I love well charts because they let you be so flexible. Single button reverse, single button flat, and single button break even, all that stuff right then and there. Okay, you know what? Let's go the other way. Let's see if I can just recover a little bit of this, and we'll see how it goes. All right, I'll just recover some of this the other way around. And now I want to take your attention to something very interesting. So actually, I guess you guys can see everything. So I started to kind of fool around. Many of you guys know what an order block is from ICT, right? It's basically, and this is my own version of order block, which I'll be happy to kind of share with you guys later. But if you guys want to use an off-the-shelf order block, the one I recommend is by Lux Algo, called ICT order blocks, I think. No, hold on. Let me find it for you. I think it's maybe it's just order block. I had it. Oh yeah, here it is. Order blocks. No, is it by Lux Algo? Yeah, this is the one I want. Let me just make sure that I got this. That's the right one. Hold on. Let me just take this off for a sec, guys. I don't remember if this is the one. This is the right order block or not. Honestly, guys, I thought there was another one. Let me just see. Sorry for the confusion. Order blocks, Lux Algo. Let me see if I can try this one. Yeah, this one looks like it's closer to the one that I have, because he doesn't have a yeah. Just use this order blocks if you want to like an off the shelf order block version. Use this order blocks by what's his name? Jesus, now I forgot. Settings. Who's the guy? Where do you see the user? I'll get rid of the Lux Algo. It's MM. Indicators. This one, Mark Middleton. This looks just perfectly fine for what you need. You just need a absolutely basic order blocks. I'm actually going to make this a favorite. I'm just going to favorite out that this will stay in my favorites. So this is his version. Mine is just pretty much the same thing. Right over here, you see it's just blue. I'm going to just get rid of his. You guys use his. I'm just going to use my own because I just wrote my own. But here's the basic thesis. ICT concepts by Lux Algo. Yeah, you can do that. You have like price action, order blocks, and FVGs, and also FVGs. Really, you don't need to. My point is, don't overcomplicate this. Don't pollute your chart with 1,000 different things. I just want you to find a clean order block overlay, because the setup is so simple. Right now, what I've done as my own is I've actually modified it to calling it a buy block. I call it a buy block and a sell block. And you can see that here's a buy block, here's a buy block, here's a buy block. It's very, what did I just do here? I just fucked this up. Hold on. Okay, here it is. Okay. The idea is super simple. We're opening up, by the way, guys. What did I just do? Okay, let me get rid of this. I just totally blew up my BFF dots. I want that to come up there. No. Okay, hold on. I'm going to reload. Okay, very good. New York session opening up. Here we go. So the trade that is a super good trade is if you have a recent order block in front of the dot. Like right now, there is no sell block. There's only a buy block in front of me. So any of the sell dots are not high, really, really high accuracy sell signals. As a matter of fact, what I like to do is I actually interpret them as buy signals. As you can see, I was actually a buyer of the red dots over here and making money on the red dots on the buy side. The idea being is that confirm the dot with the order block and you have a super, super solid entry system. Super, super solid entry system for the most part. So you can see here's the order block over here. Every one of these buy dots just becomes money, 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 right? On the other hand, the sell dots become buy dots because you don't have this. These are not recent order blocks. You can see the way I have it on mine is it's got to be on the chart. This is like way past, right? I don't give a shit about with us. If it hasn't happened in the last 10, 15 minutes, it's not a trade for us because we're trading the most recent, the most intense, the most immediate price action. And if it's not immediate, it's of no interest to us. But what's fascinating here is that not only can you make the money on the buy side with a lot of confidence because you're on the, you're getting the confidence with the order block, but you can also make money off the sell dots by fading them. Now not always. I mean, but the initial, for example, the initial sell dot against the buy order block is usually a great buying opportunity. Just look at this. I bought this at the bottom. Boom. There's almost no risk on a lot of these sell dots. So it kind of turns our dots into a double opportunity structure, depending on the context of where you're at with the ICT order blocks, right? Makes it super, super interesting and valuable for you to be able to scout. So, by the way, here's a sell block. I'm sorry, I was yapping. So now this is actually a legitimate sell signal over here. You see the sell block appeared on the charts now. So this is actually now the red dots become selling dots, not buying dots, right? So, and we can take let's take this trade. I'm a little bit late. This is a very, very big trade. It's like it's going to be massive amount. The other reason I don't want to take this because it's just such a huge amount of risk because this is like a 60, 70 point amount of risk. I just I ate it because the risk was big. There's two things you don't want to do, right? You don't want to take the trade. If this trade was like 80 points, what is that? 90 to 40 points. It was like 40 points of risk. I don't want to take that big a risk. But the next red dot that appears that gives me, I'm just going to go two sides here. That gives me, red dot operating against this sell block. I'm perfectly happy to short this, as long as it's like the risk is not like 50 points wide. If the candle itself is 20 points or less, that's a perfect trade for me in terms of taking the trade. So the contest becomes super interesting and valuable as far as the ability to trade. And you can see it's been super easy to collect pips today. Hang on, let me just get rid of this. Let me put up this here. You guys can have all the discounts, but it'll be off the chart so you guys can see it. So everybody understand what I'm trying to do here? And on the other hand, when you're getting the reversal, here we go. Here's a sell signal for us, right? So here's a sell signal. We got about how much? 55 seconds left. It's a long time before this completes. But if this trades, if this gives us a sell dot, and it's relatively decent sized candle, not a huge ass candle, we can take this trade because we're still operating underneath the sell block. The buy blocks are far away. All right, 31 seconds left. Let's see if this turns into a selling dot. Do you guys understand what I'm doing? Somebody give me a +1 if you understand what I'm saying, what I'm doing here. It's just a minor addition, but it really helps us create more interesting opportunities on the trades. No trades so far. Market's still very obviously pretty much upward biased, so we'll have to be patient to see if we're going to get any selling signals. English. You're the only one that doesn't understand. Tell me what's not clear about it. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm only taking a red dot if I got a sell block above it. So the only, in order to understand this, you have to have an order block on your chart. Order blocks are basically, ICT's concepts of selling pressures, basically where there's a lot of wicks on the chart. This is another fucking massive candle, but I think I'm gonna have to. Jesus Christ, 60-point candle. Ugh, huge risk on this candle. All right, we're gonna have to go for it. What the fuck? Let's give it a shot. Sell. It's gonna be a retracing. Where's this buy stop? I'm gonna see if I can survive this massive fucking retrace on this candle. Let's see if we can get some movement. I'm hoping we get a little bit of enough selling pressure here. But of course, 9:30, this is like where they love to, sell everything into a single candle and then we retrace back. Yeah, I'm only taking this because this is the eval account. If this was a fund that I would never take the risk of that size on this account, but what the fuck? I want to show you trading, so I'm willing to absorb the risk. And also, it's still tiny risk. I'm going to recover this risk in 5 seconds flat if it doesn't work. But it still sucks that it's just the thing. This is a classic of like you can be right on the trade and wrong on the and still lose money if you don't give yourself enough risk. But if you do give yourself enough risk and you're wrong, you're just eating a lot of risk. It's always the balancing act that we're playing with. But we're starting to come back. Come on. Move. All right, I'm going to delete this for a sec. I'll bring the deals back a little bit later. I want us to kind of focus on trading. Oh, the other trick that's kind of very cool. Look at this. It just, fuck. That's it. I'm going to eat this trade. That's all she wrote. This was a tiny little test at the bottom. All right. So if we eat this trade, we eat this trade. The other really, really cool way of trading this, I'm going to show you how to kind of, and this is, astrologist is actually going to really like this. If you have an order block in a direction that you want to go in front of you, I will take the trade early, and then if the dot confirms it, I'll add to the trade. So it's kind of like you can take a partial entry. If you're wrong, you're wrong, but the order block gives you confidence that there's going to be some continuity, and then you can add to the position. Then you're like twice the right position if you're good to go. It just gives you an additional entry into the trade. Like the way I would have traded this is the order block showed up over here. This was a red. I would have taken this red over here as my initial entry, and then at the second red I would have added to the position. But I'm still trying to basically, fuck me. Come on, drop already. Drop, you piece of shit. Drop. London lows is like right over here. So we're still far away from London lows. So we have some opportunity here for clearance, but it's not. There we go. Come on. There we go. $50. All right. Made a little bit of money back. I was just very, very patient with this trade. But the way to trade this trade properly, I had the order block over here coming in red one unit. This comes in as a red dot, 2 units, stop over here. Then you're in a really, really good position. And I could have recovered all of this over here. But the point being is you have like this really great, what is that? North Star, whatever navigable metaphor you want to use. You have just basically a great confirmation. So that gives you confidence that you want to be on the short side, and the moment the dots give you a short indicator, you just want to press into them on the idea that there's going to be some continuity. I mean, really think about what are we doing? We're trying to trade continuity, right? The order block just tells you that there's possibility of continuity because there's just a massive amount of wicks over here. If you listen to ICT interpretation, which has a modicum of value in it, in a sense that a lot of sellers got completely hosed over here, and now they're just they're desperate to try to get the hell out. So because they left all these wicks, they're going to try to press the trade to the downside. That's all you're doing, but you don't need to know the intricacies of why the order block exists. You just need to know that the order block in combo with a red dot is a strong directional move, and that's all we need to know. As long as we got directional move, we can press the trade for all it's worth. And conversely, when we get the reversal, which we eventually will get, I'll hang with you for the buy reversal. I guarantee you there'll be a buy reversal. When we get the buy reversal, right, we don't necessarily need to go on the first white dot that shows up. It's more valuable for us to wait for the buy order block to formulate, and then take the second green dot, because that's going to be a much better confidence trade for us to take, right? So astrologer says he loves it. You're always early, but the point is that it's like, okay, think of order blocks as like cloudy weather, sunny weather. That's like a perfect analogy, right? If you got cloudy skies, you're anticipating rain, you're shorting the shit out of the whole thing, right? And then if you got sunny skies, you're anticipating sunshine, and you try to get in front of it by getting long, right? That's kind of like what these two things act as. But remember, it's got a print on the chart. If you got this, I have this order block from like 10,000 years ago, like 833, right? Is that a good one? It's not. It's not horrible. It's not a horrible. It's not that far away that I wouldn't trade it. But ideally, I want it to be most immediate. You see how this was the most immediate order block is a sell block, so I was able to to really get short. In order for me to get really bullish, I need the new buy block to formulate here. It's not enough just to have a buy block from 5,000 years ago on my chart, because it means nothing. I don't give a shit about the buy block from like, what was it, 833? What is this? There's another one buy block over here from 740. Who gives a fuck? That's 1,000 years in scalping memory. What I want, because what we're trading is the most immediate turn on the thing. Oh shit! Hang on just 1 second. Hang on a second, guys. Hi, Melanie. What's up? Oh, never mind. That was Fox producer, but she butt dialed me. So, okay. So yeah, now could we be pressing these sells? We probably could be pressing these sells because we don't have any buys to countervail these things. But we're generally our whole idea is to trade turns. So we're just patiently waiting for the selling to subside and give us some evidence of a turn. But so far, nothing, right? We just they're just completely unwinding. This is actually amazingly great trading. For those of you guys that want to trade continuity, because you can just trade the sells, and then hopefully when we get a reversal on the buys, it's going to be full buys on the side, so on and so forth. Actually, you know what I want to do? I have these things. Swing, look back, max box show. No, I just want 5 of these. Oops. Okay. Yeah, there we go. I got rid of the old boxes, which is what I wanted. So who's vibing this whole thing? Anybody? +1, Temtem. Temtem likes it. All right, we're holding the VWAP. Blue candle tells us that the buyers are starting to step in to the selling pressure, but nothing is turning around. That we certainly don't have a strong. I mean, but I want to show you hopefully the full sequence of this stuff. Astrologer likes this. Very good. This is not in any way, shape, or form a signal, guys. The blue candle is just simply an indication. And as you can see, it's kind of failing. By the way, I love we haven't done this in a while, but the failure of the blue, I'm going to short this thing. I love failed, I call it the disappointment trade. We're going to do the disappointment trade here on a small size here. If this holds. The disappointment trade is, this was a disappointment trade, actually. We should have traded this too. This is where you have a blue candle, and you're hoping that they're going to rally it, and the sellers just come in and blow through the lows, and just kneecap the buyers. And there's nothing better in life than disappointment to make money from it, because that creates usually a selling cycle or a buying cycle. It's really, really good on the buy side. We love disappointment trade on the buy side. But it creates basically a virtuous cycle for us and a vicious cycle for the people who are caught on the other end of it. I know. We're on the VWAP. I know. English, you love to. But you see, the dots didn't even get me into a trade. That's the beauty of the dots. The dots kept me back. And by the way, I think if we get a dot trade here, they're going to break the VWAP. So I'll challenge it. But the cool thing with the dots is that there's no dot, no foul, no harm, no foul. New York Times saying that war may resume. So that's interesting. We'll see. Honestly, you would think that if the war in Iran resumes, you would think that would be bad for the market, right? That's the conventional wisdom. But don't be surprised if the market totally rallies. And the reasons for it is exactly where context means everything. If you and again, I'm not, projecting that it's going to rally. I'm just going to explain to you a couple of scenarios that could surprise the hell out of people. So imagine Israel and U.S. and Israel go back to bombing the living fuck out of IRGC. They take over Kharg Island. They do all this stuff. Everybody starts freaking out. Oil initially spikes, but, and this is a big but, if the military campaign takes Kharg Island, takes all of their oil storage facilities and holds it, that means they are now both in control of the oil. By the way, disappointment trade looking to set up here. 11, 12 seconds. We're going to short this. If it works, if it's there. Yeah. All right. Selling this and against the stop on the high. Let's see if we can just a single thing. Retracing back on me. And this time the disappointment trade is making me the disappointed person. All right. That fails. We'll see. Maybe I'll survive it. It's a big, big retrace. Holy shit. That's a big retrace. But yeah, anyways, it could play both ways. It's also assumes that they're going to do it. There's a whole bunch of, I think, psychological propaganda. I don't think they really want to resume fighting unless they absolutely have to. Wow, we held that VWAP. You're right. I'm eating the VWAP. You're right. Okay, so English was correct that I shouldn't have shorted into the VWAP. Look at this reversal. Big white dot. Wow. Big white dot. I'm going to stay patient on this trade. Generally, we'd love to jump into the first white dot reversal, but I'm going to wait patiently because I want to show you the. Hopefully, I'll get a buy block over here coming up soon. We'll see. Maybe I won't. Let's see what they want to do. Is this 25? Wow, that was a 65 point candle. Jesus, it was a big reversal candle. Yeah, slope is definitely king. Slope is king. Slope is the nearest thing, is the most immediate thing to tell you what things, where things are going to go. Wow, that was a big pop. I should have taken this big pop. I'm obsessed with just showing you the ICT setup, but I shouldn't be. We should just be flexible in everything that we do. All right, we'll stay patient. No setups until I get one, and then we'll try to rework this particular account. Yeah, I'll get rid of all the trays so that we're not distracted by all the stuff on the charts here. We'll just start looking at the charts, nice and clean. Oh, wait, what did I just do? Oh, maybe it's 10. There we go. Okay. All right, getting a little bit of selling. Now, this is a trade that I love. If we get the yellow candle followed by a green dot, we're going to get long on that trade. Yellow candle itself turns into a green dot. Maybe we'll just take that trade. I'll give it a second. That's a very bullish move. Let's see if we can hold it. All right, we get long on this. Underneath here, let's see if we can get some action here. Oh, getting an order buy block. Nice. So that gives us a little bit more confidence that hopefully we get a little bit of more pushing higher here. We'll stay in the trade. And boom, boom, boom. Come, baby. Come to Poppy. Let's go. Come to Poppy. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, almost there. Almost there. Almost there. We'll take it. We'll take it. We'll take it. We'll take it. You see how nice that was? You see the order block come in? I mean, we were already in the trade because I was anticipating the trade. But that gave us that, that definitely gives you confidence that there's going to be push behind it and get everything back and we're good to go. Yotko, just email me with a screenshot of your Ola purchase, and I'll send you the CFD sniper tool. I like how you're calling that. I love that. I think I'm gonna call it, the BK sniper tool. I like that. Better than what I've been fucking calling it, a one-click trader. It sounds so boring. I like it. Sniper tool. I'm gonna rebrand this, Yotko. Thank you. Yeah, just email me and everybody who wants the Ola thing. By the way, let me just of course, as always, our friends at Apex are the dominant sponsor for us in the morning. So hang on, let me just put my Apex link. They are, how long? When is you guys know when the Apex? Shit, let me tell you. Let me find out when the Apex deal ends. I think they're good to go. Oh shit, it's tomorrow. Tomorrow, go buy some right now. You know why you guys want to buy them? Buy a ton of them. I'm going to buy a few of them tomorrow because we got Nvidia. We're going to do what we've done before. We're going to straddle Nvidia earnings on Wednesday after market close. The craziest ass fucking trade ever, which is we got about 30 minutes to do or die. But I think that's going to be awesome. I think it's going to totally run. And we're going to be able to do to do a news straddle this week. So, yeah, Nvidia earnings Wednesday, 4 p.m. Definitely going to do that as an additional live. So go get some Apexes for that. That is a perfect tool for the news straddle trade. Okay, and I'll obviously set everybody up on Wednesday. Before we'll just trade probably from around 3:30 till about 4:45. And see if we can get that done. All right, sellers coming in. I'm looking for the disappointment trade. I'm looking for the sellers to get taken out to the upside, but that's a little bit far away from here. You see that you saw the buy. The buy block came in and then buy block disappeared. Right? They do that. They will. If the wicks disappear, the buy blocks will disappear. So. Not as confident as if it simply stayed in place, but we'll see. I think they say. I think it's maybe it's 4:30. They're always like they usually release them 4:15. I mean, it's like 4:30 is just a very late release, but we still got, even if it's 4:30, we've got about a half an hour before the Chicago close. So definitely, worth trading. All right, going back down to 1. White dot in play. Got to hold it, doesn't hold it, so we're not trading it. Time is it? 10 o'clock. Oh man, time is just flying by today, huh? We're going to switch over to well charts in a bit. Now, here's the thing. Red dot in play, and we're still operating under the most recent block is the sell block, right? So not a horrible idea to get short here because the bottom line is, the sellers still control. Look at this shit. They're really dropping the hell out of this thing. I actually, I don't want to do this with you guys just yet because that's very, it's kind of like just advanced trading techniques, and we still need to refine the timing on this, but this is exactly like how astrologer trades, which is, so we have the sell block operating. This thing started to appear right away. If we got into this trade over here, which I could have, it would have already been a massive win for us, right? So you could, if you're operating under the protection of the buy block or the sell block, you can actually anticipate the dot move, before it comes in. Now I'm going to basically be just chasing it, selling it here. But let's see if we can capitalize a little bit of this thing on this thing. Big ass stop there. By the way, guys, I am working on I'm just going to tease this to you because it's not ready just yet, but I'm working on like the greatest AI trading course for traders you have ever seen. This is going to let you basically write your own indicators without ever knowing anything about coding. At a click of a button, it's going to create anything you want. Here we go. I'm going to take this. I'm going to take this to nice. Another win for us. It is so awesome. All you're going to need is Chrome browser. And I'm going to give you these incredibly amazing Chrome browser based applets that are completely local to your computer. You don't have to host them anywhere. You just let them inside your computer. You press a button, it's going to generate the code. You press the code, it's going to generate the indicators. You press the indicators, it's going to generate strategy. You press the code, it's going to backtest your strategy. It's going to do everything. You're going to give you all the power in your fingertips. This is so cool. I am like at part 5 of 6 of this whole thing, to be able to give you literally from A to Z, the ability to make and create your own strategies without having to know a single thing. And they are solid. I mean, they work out of the box, like fucking right out of the box. Like this thing, this overbought, or this cell block thing that's made with my stuff. I literally just pressed a button. I did not have to look at the code once. But you could, like, if the thing is, if you want to modify it, there's going to be a whole function where you could just say, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, press a button, and it does it all for you. Perfect execution. Like literally no errors on the code. You took that, Charlotte, good job. West Coast company, yeah, exactly. That's right, Ben. So I'm very excited because it's gonna literally put the full power of your own creativity in your fingertips without having to, you guys having to know all the shit that I've had to force to teach myself. It's really going to be awesome. Will it generate well chart scripts? So Carlos, my friend, when and if those things are open source, and Rob opens them up, yes, the answer is unequivocal yes. But for now, it's going to be TradingView only. But for everybody who trades TradingView, it's going to be awesome. I mean, even if you trade well charts, you're still going to be able to do all this stuff on TradingView that will help you prototype a lot of stuff. Would I love to have it open? Rob tells me that soon they're going to be able to do this. We'll see. It's a key thing. You guys are relentless. I work my ass off this weekend to get this course ready for you. And you're like, but can it do this? No, but it can do everything else. All right, good job. You guys took the cells. We're pretty much killing it in the opening session. Here, let me show you everything we did so far. Where are we? Here we go. Here's the execution marks. So I was long over here. We took the shorts over here. The only thing I ate, the only one I ate was this one, and then we repaired it the other way around, right? So we completely repaired. This is the only trade that we ate on a stop. I repaired this, then we took this short over here, took these shorts over here. So we're doing really well without really working very hard at doing it. Time for me to actually switch. Let's switch over to our favorite chart, the wealth charts chart. Let me flip back and forth here. I'm kind of curious. So I got another sell block against this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Ah, shit. I'm late. Okay. I'm eating it. No. Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. Calm down. Now, looks like I'm going to eat this. I got very excited, but it's into the VWAP, into the lows. I'm probably going to have to eat this one, unfortunately. There's actually a really good reversal trade. You know what? We're going the other way. That is a big reversal move. Shit, that's a big reversal move. Let's go the other way. Take me. Come on. Let's go. Boom. Thank you. So, guys, I'm trading sort of my own style. Like, basically, this is a great sell trade. The sell trade got totally stuffed. That is a signal that the buyers just completely want to reverse the flow. So I completely reversed myself back to more or less even. Now I'm going to have to. Now I'm going to go back to small size. I'm not going to trade big size because I don't have a lot of confidence now. Because I don't. This was a sell block over here. This sell signal worked. This sell signal got completely stuffed, which means that the buyers pretty much making a double bottom here. The buyers kind of want to really run this higher. So now it becomes a much more interesting buy point for us. If it holds, got to hold. But look at these, man. Look at these runs. This is like a 100-point run. Fuck, that's insane. That's a $2,000 candle on one single NQ. That is fucking insane. 1 minute, $2,000. If you had timed this right, but of course, you couldn't. But it's also tells you, like, why you don't want to fight something like this when it goes against you. You just want to take your stop and reverse it. Yeah, market is really hot. Keep getting burnt on the retrace. Yeah, well, that's why you got to do small size and reverse on these things. That's why I'm keeping myself very, very small. The other thing is you just want to take maybe only the first sell trade. The first sell trade works nicely. The second, third one, obviously now starting to reverse. Okay, this looks pretty bullish. They're retaking the VWAP. If I get a dot, I'm going to go long here on this particular trade. We're going to work this account for the next 30, 40 minutes, see how far we can run it towards target, right? We ran that one. This one was around 51,000 when I started. Now it's 51.2. So let's see what we can do with this one. We'll see. If I get the dot, we're going to go. Then 24 seconds left. Let's see if they want to run it, if they want to pull it away. $13 seconds left. 9. All right, we're in. And totally reverses. You're right. We ate that. I just ate it. Just completely reversed on me. Fine. I didn't even get a chance. I should have tightened my stop. This was such a fast reversal. Man, the market is fast today. You didn't even get a chance to adjust your stops. I wanted to put my stop tighter. Did not get it. All right. Not a problem, because now, especially if it comes back to being a white dot, that means it's actually super bullish. That means they tell they flushed the weak buyers, and now they want to take it higher. But only if we get another dot. Let's see how it's looking over here. Do I getting a buy? No, nothing. So yeah, see, like they totally flushed the buyers. This is a classic move here. Let's see if we get a signal. Let's see if we get a dot here. We do. Buy. Now I'm going to be underneath here. Let's see if I can get some movement over here. All right. I took a little bit off because I wanted to recover some of my P&L, because I want to run this to as close to 53 as possible, because we're close to target. I don't need to slip the equity back. but yeah, this was had I had a little bit of a smaller size, I would have been more patient, because I still think this is the key stop here. And if it could take 2 or 3 candles before it kind of rallies higher. As long as it holds these lows, this is a pretty bullish construct. So if I had if I had smaller size and less interest in trying to get to target, I would have been a little bit more patient. But now, I took the money and ran. But the trade is still viable if you're in it, because we haven't hit the stop, and it could be 2 or 3 trades, and they could rally it higher. But this type of a structure where you get the white dot, they flush the lows, and they try to take higher. I mean, the only thing that's not as perfect about the setup is that I didn't get a secondary dot. And honestly, the right thing to do here is to wait for the dot. You need the dot to kind of help you out. But like if we get a dot here, I would go back into the trade, maybe at a smaller size, right? So we're at 2 size. Let's see. We'll watch the trading view here for a sec. Everybody sees what I'm doing. Do we need my boomer glass for everybody to see what I'm showing? You see how they clipped the buyers and they brought it back up. It's a very bullish construct, especially if this candle, well, so far, no. I was going to say, especially if this thing ends up on a dot. So far, 24 seconds, no. And if it doesn't, then it's actually not that bullish. So let's see. It becomes a tug of war between the buyers and the sellers. Slope's still green, but they're kind of like fighting it out between the 280s, 220s. Volatility compressing here. Let's see what they want to do. Oh, getting a dot. I'm looking at news to see if the news is kind of going back and forth on the whole Iranian situation. So that's one of the reasons why the market is going back and forth. It's unclear whether they want to go to war or the Iranians are starting to cave, and that's and the headlines are like all over the place. Anyways, price-wise, market's starting to decide that it wants to go higher. We got the dot. We're going to go long here into this trade. I'm going to hold underneath here, see if we can get extension on the move here. Yeah, 29,300 is the target level, but it's a lot of two-way action, right? Market really selling off. So we're holding the stops here, and we'll see if we can get a pull. It's a very decent setup, but also could be very choppy. Who knows? Trying to see if there's anything on the news here. Let me see what the headlines are. So Iran is back walking the deal. So that's one of the reasons why it's turning negative, because the news out of Iran, they thought they were going to have a deal. Now they're turning back on the deal. So we're selling this. We got clipped on this thing. Now the next trade is going to be seeing if we could take the short side here. Sell it against this position. See if I can recover a little bit of this thing. Boom. And we'll recover most of it. The idea here is just to recover the trade, because I want to keep this trying to go maybe to 500. It's like I could have gotten a little bit more, but the upside did not work. Downside now is taking hold. But it's very choppy, because news flow is just going two ways right now on the Iranian situation. And I think the market is kind of trading, that indecision. I'm trying to see if there's anything else here. No, so far not. But if you look at the bigger picture, you pull back, we're negative, had a big hopeful rally, now kind of drifting lower. And I think astrologers are probably going to agree with me that the likely trade here, it's always could be different, but the likely trade is going to be to the downside. They're going to try to run the London lows, but we'll see. Yeah. What do you guys think? We're going to run the London lows, or is this just another fake out by the shorts, and they're gonna run it back to the highs? Oh. I'm getting a white dot here. Nice trade against this. But remember we talked about the idea of not doing lower lows. This is a lower low white dot, right? So much better to let me wait until this green. If this green dot holds, I get a higher low, then I get a more legitimate long. Let me wait and make sure that an uptrend is starting to take place, right? Let's see if it holds. Let's go back here. Nope, we're breaking down. By the way, I know, with wealth charts, we have to constantly refresh this thing. So in order to, for some reason, we're having some issues with the dots. So that's why I always keep my trading view as a check on the dots. See, I don't know why this is not a white dot, whereas this one is a clear white dot. Well, the irony of the whole thing is I was so excited to show you order blocks, and order blocks have really not been a big story today, except for this sell order block right now, because they just haven't been, there haven't been a lot of them. Like they were a lot in the prior in the Asia and the European sessions, but not a lot here. If you go into replay mode, you can actually see a lot of them, throughout the session. See all these buy blocks. You go through, get more buy blocks, more buy blocks, more buy blocks. And you get sell block. And now you're coming down here. The buy block, the sell block disappears. And now we're over here. And now we're kind of like waiting for a sell signal here. So this is a legit sell signal, lower lows, if it holds. Wonder if it's showing up on this. 6-7 seconds. All right, we're short. Was that a sell signal over here? I can't tell. Yeah, it was a tiny little sell signal against this high. Better not retrace on me, baby. And let's see if we can get this low. Come on, come to Poppy. Let's go. Ah, fuck. Come on. Down. Done. Didn't quite get. I really wanted the 500, and I would have gotten it if I was just a little bit less, a little bit more greedy, which I should have been. I should have been much more greedy on this center. But I hope you guys got a bigger piece of that profit than I did. But we're almost at 500, so it's not bad. Not bad for government work. Got about 5 more minutes before I got to go with you guys, but. You get the vibe. I mean, it's hitting, right? We're cooking on all cylinders here. Hopefully we can bring this one home tomorrow or by Wednesday. So this will be like this is going to be funded the old-fashioned way, the earned way, hopefully, and then we're going to do a couple of more fast fundeds on the news flow. And then I'm going to go back to I'm trading my actual payout accounts in the background, but I wanted to trade the bigger accounts with you guys today. Cooking with gas, baby, right? Just looking to see if there's any more news, but no, it's all bullshit. No, kind of quiet. Nothing much going on here. So if you pull back, really the price action has just been the beautiful thing. And this is why, as long as we have this, we are assured to make money. As I said to you, the beautiful thing about the price action, even if everybody else is complaining, oh my God, we're not making money. I hate this fucking choppy price action. We don't care if it's chop, as long as there is enough amplitude in the chop. Look at this amplitude, right? Look at this amplitude. This is a 150. This is a 100-point amplitude, 100-point amplitude, 100-point. What we cannot sustain is the fucking 20-point amplitude. That's when we die. And that's the market that we need to just simply, stay the fuck away from as much as possible. But 100-point amplitude is money in the bank. We couldn't care less if it's up or down. All of it prints money for us as long as we can just position ourselves properly. So that's like the key thing here, right? It's amplitude. It's the size of the rise. Oh, that's pretty good. I like that. And the what rhymes with a fall? Oops. Remove 2 drawings. There we go. And the call of the fall. Who's hitting those trades with me, guys? Somebody give me a +1. Tell me you guys are all hitting some of those trades here. More shorts. More shorts. Honestly, if you think about this, guys, we're still operating under the sell block of the 9:30 open, right? It's just no buy blocks at all right now. But into the VWAP, this is going to be interesting. Do we break the VWAP for sure now? So, Mark, you're going to get a little more disappointed. Looks like Russians are bombing Odessa, the birthplace of my dad. Huh. Wow, this might get very, very ugly. Holding the VWAP. Another sell block. Look at that. Oh, so we're getting a secondary sell block. Interesting. Interesting. All right, I'm gonna just play this trade with you guys. This is small size. I was gonna short it at the highs here because as I said, when you have the order blocks, the buy trades are actually really interesting sell opportunities. Let me just fuck it. Let's just try it. What the hell? See, I sold it. I wanted to sell it over here. I would have been much better off on my instinct to sell it here, but I was just waiting for the candle to close. But here's my idea. You see, and I'm still going to clip a little bit of money here. Look at that, 25, 26 bucks in 20 seconds. Why? Because the sell block is giving me confidence that this is a bullshit rally. I can fade the rally. And of course, now they break the VWAP, and it's really, really taking off. I wish we'd done this on the Wealth Charts account. This would have been taking us to 52.4, but I can show you the setups, and then we can do all the stuff there. What are the buy blocks and the sell blocks? Those are just the basic ICT order blocks, right? Just go look it up. It's his little bullshit explanation of it's basically buyers being stranded and sellers being stranded, right? So if buyers are stranded, that becomes a sell block. That becomes it's kind of like, think about it, as I said, it's a cloudy day or a sunny day, right? The buyers come out there, they feel really, really happy, and suddenly, it's cloudy and it's going to just rain on them like, there's no tomorrow, right? Or the sellers come in and they think it's going to be really, really horrible weather and everybody's, is going to be miserable, and then boom, the sun breaks out and they're all stuck. So that's how you kind of have to think about those patterns on the chart. So this is now, I'm operating under a cloudy day scenario, which means every rally is a sell, right? That's really what it means. So I was trying to sell my rallies, sell my dot rallies. And conversely, if I have a buy block, that means every dump is a bump. Every sell-off is a buy to dip on the trip. So that's kind of how it's playing out. Session lows, by the way, we're starting to really accelerate. Yeah, this, I think, as I was saying, fucking news out of Iran. They poured cold water on any kind of market. I think is gearing up for more bombing, right? More bombing all over. It's kind of, I think, going to be the theme this week. So, Kathy was coming at it from a fundamental point of view, but I think the geopolitical one is the one that's going to push us maybe lower. So we have to see. 29 is probably going to go. If 29 goes, then it really opens up 28.5 and so on and so forth. momentum right now, the sentiment right now is shifting negative, and we want to be trading on that side of the market until shown otherwise. That's literally how you kind of want to. No idea about ICT, Ben. You're not missing much, but it's what the kids are doing. And also, by the way, the fact that kids are doing it makes it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? If they all think that it's happening, it kind of accelerates the market behavior. But it's not, it's not a bad idea. He basically stole everything from Richard Wyckoff in the 1930s and repackaged all his bullshit as new. But it doesn't mean that it's wrong. It's just simply, plagiarized, which is very, very common amongst the Gen Zs. But because they think they invented the world. But it's a legitimate idea. It's a really legitimate setup for what we have, because it offers us deeper context into, you see, I'm not, guys, I wanted to show this to you. I think you guys see it like literally fucking every 5 minutes that I am not wrong, that this thing is calling the shorts. And if you're taking every red dot right now instead of me yapping, you're making money, right? It's the cloudy day, man. It's time to sell the dots. That's all I'm saying. That's how you want to analyze it. Yeah, and then the FVGs and IVGs are also kind of interesting. But to me, the reason I sort of looked through a lot of the ICT stuff, and this is when we're talking about dots, this is the easiest, most intuitive, and the most accurate combination of the two. So if we want to trade dots on a continuous manner, this is the thing out of ICT that just puts us on steroids. I mean, look at me, guys. I'm fucking 300 up on in an hour on this bullshit account. We're almost at 500 up on this one, right? And I'm fucking around. I'm not even taking 10 of the trades that I could be taking because I'm yapping, and I missed a few trades, and we had a few bad breaks. And despite all that, I'm doing really well because the structure is just so sound, right? That's what I'm trying to tell you. Look at this. We broke the lows. We broke the lows. Astrologer. We broke the lows. London goes. We broke the lows. And we're definitely, at the testing that 29,000. So yeah, could we have more selling for the rest of the day? We could, guys. We could. And it could be a very long afternoon before we get a reversal. So don't try to buy dips here until this is what I would do. I would not create any long trades until I have a couple of things going. I get a buy block on the trade. I get an ICT block building. Then I have higher lows on the dots. I mean, higher highs on the dots, or higher lows. But you know what I mean. Higher dots, higher one green dot higher than the next. Only then would I commit to a long trade right now. It's ugly, and there's no need to stand in front of a train until it turns around. Okay, and the structure now just gives you this beautiful visual process to help you make decisions better, right? I'm telling you guys, you're going to love my AI course when it comes out. It's going to be awesome. Thank you, USA. Thank you, USA. I'm glad the USA loves my coaching. And if you like my coaching, and if you like just what I'm telling you, as you can see, we're making money just by watching the price action and analyzing it properly. Go out there and give me a Trustpilot review, okay? I really, really appreciate it. That's the only thing I ask. And everybody who wants to come in for coaching, here's the coaching link to get the indicator and have a good time with me and actually, have a much deeper conversation, because the conversation on next week's coaching is really going to be how to integrate this into a much more durable, accurate structure, in both sizing, entry, P&L wise. I'm gonna share with you best practices that I learned that you don't necessarily see on the chart because I'm yapping away with you. But when I'm off screen, I'm actually doing very well because I'm following my own advice at this point. All right, everybody. Great Monday, right? Usually Mondays suck. Today was great Monday. As long as we got the amplitude, we're in good shape, right? Yeah. Go get the chopper. Go get the chopper. Schwarzenegger is great. I would vote for Schwarzenegger for president in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. I think he'd be by far the most decent guy around. All right, guys. Unfortunately, unlike just like me, he's a naturalized citizen. Which, by the way, I think is kind of bullshit. Like, I don't know why you need that discrimination that you can't be president. You have to be born here to be president. If you're a naturalized citizen, you're a citizen. Why deny the rights to somebody like that? You would have some really good candidates. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. It was a lot of fun. We're up, but that take recovery trades from 2 micros to 5. Good for you. So there you go, Ben. Don't be a pussy. You recovered, right? Good for you. It was better than Gray Davis. Yeah, listen, it's better than what you have now, right? Oh my God, have you guys politics aside, have you watched the ads for the LA mayor, Spencer Pratt? They are insane. Just some of the best advertising I've ever seen in my life. Just as a messaging advertising. He's just, I had this conversation with somebody. This is like, somebody was yelling at me that, that he's completely unqualified. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. But politicians have no skills. Like, people assume that, you need some kind of seasoning as a politician. You got to be some kind of like a corporate manager as a politician. Bullshit. Politicians don't manage. They have professional staff underneath them who manage. Your job as a politician is to pick the best professional people underneath you to manage the actual departments as a politician. Your skill as a politician, in my opinion, the only skill that really matters as a politician is communication. So it doesn't matter if you're completely unqualified for the job. The job is not the job. The job is communication. The rest of the job is done by the actual people who run the departments. Your job is to pick the right people. So anyways, that's my view of politics. That's why I don't think the whole idea of like, oh, he's been a senator for 10 years or he's been a governor 5 years matters. Who gives a shit? That those are not the skills you're looking for. It just means he's been entrenched in politics. It's one of those professions that has no skills except communication, in my opinion. All right. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. A lot of fun. English says correct. Anyways, watch the dots. Watch the dots, watch the blocks. This is where things get very, very interesting. We are actually getting a little bit of a turn trade here with a more of a sell-off. We broke the 29. Let's see if this is actually going to create a modicum of support. But as I said, I really, really want to see a buy block show up before I kind of commit to a trade, or at very minimum, 2 higher dots at this point, because I think the sentiment is pretty negative right now, both fundamentally and technically, and you need a lot to break this reversal to make a reversal interesting as a trade is what I mean. Okay, guys, I'm glad everybody did really well. I'm glad everybody recovered. Everybody's positive P&L. Let's keep going. Let's keep doing that. I'll see everybody tomorrow morning. We're gonna do usual 8. We're now doing 8 to 11. It's early. An hour early trade. Get ourselves all set up properly, and then obviously Wednesday we're also going to do NVIDIA earnings, so that's going to be a lot of fun as well. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Again, go out there, please give me a Trustpilot review. I'd really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Everybody have a great day. Oh, and the last thing, of course. Oh shit, where am I? I wanted to just one last thing for you guys to. Oh, here it is. Kay gave it to me. Yeah, here it is. We haven't. I didn't put this image on here because it was blocking everything. But look at these deals. Jesus, go out there. The Lucid deal, the Apex deal. Go out there, go get them. And I think she said for all of Prime. Oh, what was? Oh, it was something free. Cheer 35 was the Ola Prime code. So, anyways, have a great time, guys. Everybody enjoy. I will see everybody tomorrow. Take care.